good evening, good morning, or good afternoon. Whenever you choose to listen to us, you'll have plenty of time this week anyway to catch up. It's Thursday night as we're recording. This is Tap 58. I'm Declan Carroll, and I'm joined by Andy Cummins. Andy, you threw a bit of a tantrum last week. You weren't happy, but we're back at the Curragh this week.
Yeah, threw a tantrum. We skipped the Group 1 action at the Curragh for a Group 3 card when we said we'd cover festivals while Tramore has a festival. But this is what the owners, so I was about to say, this is what the listeners wanted. We've been throwing up polls on Twitter, and they're voting for their favourite race meeting. And the Curragh stripped fitter for the run last week, and that's what we're covering this week. So
I've quite enjoyed watching the polls, to be honest. And Curragh did bounce out in front and just went about it like the best horse in the race and wasn't caught. But I was drawn to who was out the back? Cork.
That was Schooling in Public, I think. Cork.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And the team tactics with Tramore obviously didn't work.
Might have scuppered them, yeah.
Yeah, the Curragh was just too good. But what do you make of the card anyway? And we do have some. We've listed in group action.
Yeah, it's a nice card. The weather's supposed to be lovely. I'd love to get down again, but I'm busy enough. With our other half has a family barbecue, which I'll be attending in the afternoon. But that's I'm looking forward to that as well, because I'll have a few bets on. There's a few I'm confident enough that I could maybe even pass her dad or one of the significant other family members. Yeah, get the group on. So if I'm giving those tips to my significant other's family, that shows you that I'd be confident in them, because otherwise I'd be probably getting my marching orders quickly enough out of that barbecue. But no, it should be good. Look forward to it.
Oh, well, that's nice. Look, I hope the weather does keep up. Well, it's been quite wet today. I've been watching it like a hawk because I'm going to the picnic in the morning. So I really need good weather.
Yeah, you need that. There's nowhere worse on earth if the lashes rain down there, was there? Surely.
Oh my God, you don't want to be down there in the wet, do you? So it is to be dry. So I hope maybe a couple of showers Saturday or Sunday, but they'll be light apparently. Hopefully it keeps up, because it's miserable when it's wet and it rains all weekend. I don't know that many of our listeners will remember Oxygen, or will have been to Oxygen, but I was down there one year. It never stopped raining. It was
automatic.
Oh, it was so bad. It was so bad. And there was tents that had collapsed and they were underwater. Oh, it was miserable. It was miserable. But look, that was a long time ago now. Back when Punchdown used to host the festivals. We're here to talk about the Curragh. So we'll jump into it. Andy, are there anything you'd like to mention beforehand?
No. I'm happy to jump in. Like as you said, it's been a busy week, but we've a good meeting to bring it to an end. I'm looking forward to it.
I think we will get into it, because I need to wrap up soon as well, because I've still a bit to do, and I have one of those 5-litre bottles of water from Lidl to fill with 6 bottles of wine. So.
Jesus,
I
don't even want to know.
Look, we'll jump into it. The 150 Guitar Racing and Equestrian Club Irish EBF Juvenile Sprint Stakes. It's a listed race for 2-year-olds over 5 furlongs. Annie, I'd say I thought it was a difficult one to judge for me. Looking through it, like the form's not wonderful. I checked Treasure Isle might go off favourite. He was much improved up in trip the last day, and although he was hammered over this trip, that might have given him a bit of confidence, and he might run a good race here. But the one I'll take him on with is the filly Saratoga. She was only a half length off him on her debut, and she was well clear at the third. Jockey said she ran green that day. That was her only run to date, so I'd be keen enough on her. But what way do you see it?
Yeah, they're popping her straight into a listed race. As you said, she only went down, and that was on her debut, obviously second to Treasure Isle, beaten half a length. Treasure Isle has a rating, a lead rating in this of 98, so it's not a strong race for the grade, really, especially when you're dealing with 2-year-olds. You can see sometimes maybe filly-only listed races, especially 3, 4 and up. You can sometimes get horses that don't find a rating of 100, but it's rare enough you see it in Ireland and England at 2. But that's the way we have it. So Treasure Isle ran well behind Barbouche. Obviously, that form looks a good deal better now after she won the Phoenix on Saturday in pretty impressive fashion. So Treasure Isle fourth that day. 2 poor runs in between winning at Naas and then finishing fourth to Barbouche, obviously a Tipperary and Alaska. Yeah, probably the best form that is on offer as a collective, as a collective piece of work. But you'd usually say he'd be a disappointing winner, but at the same time, you look at the rest of it. Hopefuls left, right, centre. Luna Gianna's still a maiden, rated 81, so she shouldn't be getting close there. Fishing for black type there with that filly. Morning Vietnam might be the fly in the ointment. Very impressive at Dundalk on debut. 2 very, very poor runs in listed company, but was really impressive, winning at 16-1 last time out of Cork, and that was his first time after a gelding operation. So it is worth noting that you could maybe forgive him going up in class with his tackle still on. He loses his manhood and he's now unbeaten. So yeah, he could be the fly in the ointment. I'd actually fancy him to maybe beat Treasure Oil. But I do agree with you, Dec. I think Saratoga Special, if Jessie Harrington's throwing her straight into a listed race, there should be a lot of progression there. She should, hopefully turn the tables with Treasure Oil at a bare minimum. That would give her a serious chance. Shamrock Breeze as well. Probably, you could argue, excelled himself last time out in a listed race at Deauville as well. Was a bit unlucky not to win that day. Probably also a weak race, unlike Ireland and England, listed races, especially at this level as 2-year-olds, they can be very weak in France. You can go over there and get black type with horses in the low 80s. So you could maybe argue he was a little bit flattered despite it being a career best. But I'd agree with you. I think the filly Saratoga Special is the one to be with. I think she'll beat Morning Vietnam.
Oh, there's an early shout.
Early forecast.
Yeah, an early shout for Nap of the Tap as well. But
potentially
we'll see how we go. Okay, we will move on to the 2:15. The FBD hotels and resorts, Killashee Hotel handicap for 3-year-old and older over 6 furlongs. Andy, is this all about Maymar?
It probably is, isn't it? Obviously owned by, I think, Syndicate owned now. I think this My Race horse, I think you can purchase a toenail in this horse for a score or something like that.
Is this like when Steve owned Balco the Flow?
Well, yes, similar enough. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like when George owned
Calvados,
yeah. Owned
there was only
article of his tail there, I think.
Yeah, there was only 3,000 in that, I think. But when Steve bought into the 12-year-old back on the floor, I think he cost about $1 million, wasn't it? Was it something ridiculous?
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, got
good man, Steve. I'll put supporting the game, fair play.
Supporting the game. You got some plaque off his teeth or something. Anyway, yeah, so this horse was a decent enough 2-year-old, failed to win it too, but had decent form. I can only assume he got injured.
Ran the Windsor Castle behind Little Big Bear.
Yeah, I can only assume he got injured in that because he wasn't seen after that. I think he was bought maybe at the London sale, I can't remember. Potentially bought. Off the track until only last month, and then came back, beat Desert Power in a maiden. Was well on top, beating Collective Power at Naas. That was quite impressive for how easy he went through the race. I'd expect him to be a very, very short price here, but I am going to put one up each way because it's one I was sweet on a few podcasts ago, and I think Memar was 7-4. I think returned 7-4 last time out. He's going to be about that again. He's going to be about 11-8, 5-4 to probably win this race. He's a 4-year-old that's won his last 2 since injury. He's probably going to be very, very short in relation to a handicap. The one I'll just point to is Apache Outlaw. One I tipped up a few pods ago when we covered the Curragh. Now, this is obviously, Dec, we were talking off air about the handicapper dropping horses. This lad's a perfect example. He looks really, really well handicapped, but if you went through, other races, you would find horses probably just as well handicapped as him. You go back to May, he was beaten by Red Leather Bray over the course and distance off 93. He was only beaten 3 lengths that day despite finishing 9th. Wasn't really at home at Fairyhouse after that, but it was the race, his penultimate race at the Curragh when I fancied him. He was a 14-1 shot. Adam Caffrey retains the ride. He rode him that day. Was only beaten 2 1/4 lengths and was closing all the way to the line. They stepped him up to 7 furlongs at the Galway Festival on heavy ground, which he'd have probably hated. He ran okay, he was a 25-1 shot, was beaten about 6 lengths or so. Rated 87 that day. He ran fine, but he's been dropped another 4 pounds, so he's down to 83. 83 in the context of his course and distance form he's shown this season makes him very attractable for the price he's likely going to be. So, albeit I think Memar is your most likely winner, I think this horse could be like scandalously overpriced, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to back Apache Outlaw each way.
Okay, we got issues on them. Or
Hopefully.
14, do you reckon he'd be bigger?
I was expecting about 14s, 12s to 14s, because it's only a 9-runner race at the end of the day. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a few quid around for him on the morning, Saturday morning.
Nice. Another forecast.
Yeah, hopefully I'll reverse this one though.
This next race is probably one where I could leave you to it while I go off and stick a few more flowery shorts into the bag for tomorrow. Yeah. It is the 250 Irish ABF Median Sire Series maiden. I won't get you to tell us what this series is about again.
Not again.
We've done it every week. It's for 2-year-olds and it's over 6 furlongs. I have no opinion on this, Andy, and I'm very interested to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, well, it's good. The Ross O'Sullivan Racing Club has a Merchants Arches debuting here, so there's 2 horses in the club. Obviously, Lost President ran last week, ran a fine race. He'll be one for handicaps down the line, but he would have learned a lot around horses on Saturday, so it was nice to get down there and meet some people in the syndicate as well, which was nice. Merchants Arch takes his first start on Saturday. Gavin Ryan is riding. Yeah, look, I think he's just going to be, we'll see where he is. He's going to run his race, have a nice day out, hopefully enjoy himself. And he'll improve for the experience. A few horses up the top there. Distance Seas, 9 stone 8 by Sergei Prokofiev, second on debut, but wasn't able to match that next time out at Naas. Probably, you could maybe argue in a better race, but it was still disappointing for what was expected. Ganas was very, very similar. His form is going to tie into the nursery later on in the card. His third behind Black Forza would give him a favourites chance here. They sent him to Goodwood. He was beaten a similar distance at Glorious Goodwood by Jonesy and what's usually a fairly strong maiden. So despite it saying 3-7 on the card, he's probably ran to a similar level in 2 races. This is a drop in class for him, 100%. He's going to be probably quite difficult to beat. A Call Too Soon, she's by Calix out of Too Soon to Panic, who herself was out of Scream Blue Murder. It's a family that the Stacks know very well. I would expect to see her improve immensely for her debut. She fell out of the stalls and was always behind at Galway. If you fall out of the stalls at Galway, especially at as a 2-year-old, you're just not going to win. It's a really, really difficult track to make a winning debut at. Never mind when you fall out of the stalls like that. It takes a very, very good horse to win on debut at Galway. I would expect to see a much, much better run from her. She could be one that goes well at an each way price. And the most interesting debutant in the race is the 16 on the card, Annie Lavina, who's by James Garfield out of Lil's Joy. It's very much a Rathbarry pedigree. Lil's Joy is a good brood mare. She's by Lilburn Lad. She has produced Ever Given and Lady Bullet, 2 black type horses who both won on debut. And also obviously reached one of them, I think. Ever Given, I think, was a very smart horse for Hugo Palmer, I think. Maybe Tom Duscombe had him as well. But anyway, he was in the catchy colours, the blue with the orange stars. Anyway, look, I think this horse could be one that goes well. Has a nice weight at 8 stone 11 because James Garfield is a cheap enough sire in the context of this race. Wouldn't be surprised if there's a few quid around for her at big, big prices because she is bred to be very speedy, and the dam was good at 2 herself, as was James Garfield, and plenty of the half brothers, half sisters have won at 2, and 2 of them have already won on debut. So keep an eye on her at a big, big price, especially if there's market support. But I think your most likely winner is Ganas.
Ganas, lovely. Thanks, Andy. Lots of information there. I do love listening to you go through these.
Did you pack your shirts?
Yeah. These Median Sire Series maidens in particular, there. It's always great to hear your opinion and listen to what you have to say. We will move on to the 325. Download the new Tote app nursery handicap for 2-year-olds over 6 furlongs. Will Tommy Cummins be downloading the new Tote app?
No chance Tommy will be on anywhere near the Tote app.
No,
I inside joke there. Well, people be like, "Who's Tommy and why does he not like the Tote?"
I do like when people pick up on our inside jokes and but it's probably the first time we've used Tommy Cummins and the Tote, but maybe you'll start to pick up on it in the future. Andy, there's a good thing in here for me.
Go on.
And I was full sure I texted you the last day when he wasn't off on handicap debut, And I went looking for the message, and I couldn't find it. I don't know who I texted about it, but no, me, it's Eric. Look, he just didn't look after me the last day on his handicap debut. He went straight into my notebook. I did think he showed plenty in maidens, and I think you're going to see a much improved performance here, and I really fancy him. What way do you see it?
Yeah, well, look, down £3 for that run at the Galway Festival, which tends to be a strong enough.
He was in cost.
That's why you couldn't stop gambling. It was too hot to go outside, so you sat there gambling. Yeah.
I was in cost. Maybe I must have just thought I texted you.
You probably told the lad at the bar.
Yeah,
you probably told the barman.
Tell someone around the hill. Oh, you! Oh, come here, you! See this horse? What are you talking about?
First time blinkers for him as well, which is interesting enough. Jamie Powell taking the £3 off. Look, he'd have an each way chance, absolutely. I did have a look also. Ouija Bear down the bottom there for Ger Lyons, who had a fantastic weekend last week at the Curragh, obviously winning a Group 1. He has first time blinkers as well. Could expect him to go well, but was hoping to maybe see him in maybe of a lesser caliber of race, because there is some nice horses in here. Snapdragon going to head the way to 83. Very much depends what way you see it. If you do like Gannis in the race that I said previous, that was the Black Forza and Rudy's Apple form. Snapdragon, my kind of problem with him is Rudy's Apple was so impressive in that nursery. There was 2 lengths between them at Fairyhouse, and then in the nursery when Rudy's Apple was giving them 7, there's 3 1/4 lengths between them. So either Rudy's Apple is very, very progressive, or Snapdragon isn't progressing maybe as well as he should be. Jack, you could take into account maybe Jack Cleary's claim at Fairyhouse. I'm not mad in taking jockey claims into consideration, because their jockeys are claiming for a reason, even if the Aidan O'Brien is using with the claim. But the jury's out about maybe Snapdragon on how quickly he is progressing, and I think he might be a little bit vulnerable despite Ryan Moore maybe taking over and he's top weight here. Girl Like You was a decent debut, but has not really fulfilled her promise behind Turnbridge Wells. 2 poor runs to date. She has a little bit to find. I'd take a tentative punt maybe on South Shore Island for Mick O'Callaghan. The 6th behind Swagman, despite it being 6 of 7, wasn't a bad effort. That was over 7 furlongs. Went off possibly too quick behind Ides of March in a Curragh maiden last time out. Maybe if he's just goes here with it under a little bit more restraint and dropping into handicap company under Colin Keane, maybe Colin will ride him kind of quiet with a view to coming home. That's where my tentative selection will go, but it's not an easy nursery to really find a winner of.
No, so we'll just back Eric. Look, we'll
just back Eric, yeah, and hopefully Konstantinos in Greece, whoever the bloke behind the bar who was saving your points is on as well with a bit of luck.
Yeah. Well, I wondered if you can get any sort of a text. I was full. I'm at the local chimney phone there. Can't find anyone I text. I must have been just mumbling about him. Okay, we'll move on to the 4 o'clock. It's the Showdown Market Cafe. I'm not sure where the Showdown Market Cafe is.
It's not the cafe that's right on the Curragh, no?
The one
we got breakfast. We got breakfast there once, didn't we?
I didn't think it was called that, was it? I don't think
maybe so. It's not. Oh no, sorry, it's in Maynooth. I've just googled it. No, take that back.
Showdown Market Cafe Royal Whip Stakes, a Group 3 for 3-year-old and older, over 1 mile and 2 furlongs. Andy, I suppose continuous would set the standard here, but he was disappointing on his return. He was 5th in the Arc, but he was quite good before that. But it was a busy autumn for him, and you'd wonder after his return being so disappointing that maybe he hasn't trained on. It is a trappy enough race. You've trust your instinct in here, who was just annoyed by Jan Bruegel back in June. I think that was that Derby Day. Jan Bruegel went on to just outstay them all at Goodwood, and I think Jan Bruegel is quite a nice horse. There's nothing sexy about him, nothing flashy. He's a bit of a dour stare. I think trust your instinct has vastly improved since coming back from hurling, and maybe it's just like you always say, Andy, about horses gone back into bumpers after running over hurdles. It just toughens them up and maybe straightens the mind a little bit. And something you never think about with, you know, horse gone from hurdles back to the flat. But, you know, here's a horse come back to hurdles and is going to compete at group level. And the one who could be in the fly in the ointment, I think, could be Caught You Looking. Really nice filly. I was mad about her last year. She's not quite Group 1 standard at her own age, but her sights are lowered here. And when she is going into open company, she'd be getting all the allowances. I think she could go close. But what's your thoughts on this?
I'd be bitterly disappointed if Continuous didn't absolutely bolt up, to be brutally honest with you. Like,
he's clear on ratings.
Yeah, so he's a mile clear on ratings. Like, even going through his form last year, excellent second behind King of Steel. Won the Great Voltager very impressively off a breakneck gallop, beat Castaway going away. Won the Ledger really well, beat from Arrest. 5th in the Arc behind Ace Impact. Like, you know, even, you know, his comeback run, he was beaten favourite, fair enough, beaten 6 lengths by Oil of Jura. Now look, that the Hardwick Stakes has produced a King George winner in Goliath, who was 2nd. He was well ahead of Crypto Force that day as well. Like, he's been beaten 6 lengths by Oil of Jura. Even if you take out that run, 5th in the Arc, Ledger winner, none of these are getting within a stratosphere at that form. Like, it's in a different time zone, in my opinion. I hear what you're saying about Caught You Looking. I'd be backing her to finish 2nd. I think maybe the trip might have caught her out in the Oaks, in both Oakses actually, because she travelled all right, but she just didn't get home. And there was a serious gamble on her at the Curragh. Like, I think she was 25-1 in the morning. She got down as low as 6-1 as she was going in the gate. She drifted out a little bit. I think 7 or 8-1 she went off, but it was a huge punt on her. They were expecting a huge run. I think 10 furlongs is going to be absolutely perfect for her. But if Continuous even runs to within, I don't know, 8-9 pounds of last year's form, he's just going to win. And I think Caught You Looking is the most likely one to be 2nd.
Yeah, well, look, I will take the chance that he's not the same horse he was last year for whatever reason. But he just hasn't trained on, or, you know, let's deal with a busy autumn. When I say it's busy, but it wasn't that busy. Like, you know, for a lot of Aidens, sometimes Aidens are very, very tough. Like the likes of, you know, particularly some of his fillies, the likes of Mother Earth is one that springs to mind. And
yeah, Found.
Minding
was tough. A tree.
Who?
Minding,
yeah.
6 Group 1.
Highland Rail could take a fair bit of rate once he got the tree. I think
Declaration of War.
Yeah, like, you know,
he loved the fight. Yeah.
Look, I would take him on though. I think he's going to be very, very short, and
he will be
until we see him bounce back to form. I take him on, and I think Trust Your Instinct is probably quite disrespected. Maybe the fact that he's gone hurling and the colours he's in, they're not flat colours. They could easily be in the Kilmore colours, you know. But they're not. He's in the green and gold. And look, I've a bit of a soft spot for Caught You Looking, to be honest. And I do think she's a nice filly. But yeah, I'd be keen to take him on. But you think he'll laugh at the money?
I think he'll absolutely dawdle up, yeah. And I hope he does, because the division just needs more good horses. And he finished last season like a good horse. I'm hoping A, it was an injury and they just left him short and he made his comeback run, or B, they're bringing him back late with a view to what, as you said, an autumn-winter globetrotting campaign, take in the Arc or the Breeders' Cup.
Well, I think I think a globetrotting campaign has been mentioned as well, hasn't it? So
yeah, he could accompany August Rodin, couldn't he? Because like he's by heart's cry, Japanese sire, so the Japs would love to have him and August Rodin over. So, you know, and
it would suit Kilmore to go there and.
Absolutely.
They do what they do is, you know, sell sires. Okay, we will move on to the 435, the Comer Group International Irish and Leisure Trial Stakes, a Group 3 for 3-year-old and older, over 1 mile, 6 furlongs. I don't know about this race, Andy. I think the division is quite weak at the moment, and we see this race. Not quite this particular one, but we often see this race again and again in Ireland throughout the summer and into the autumn. But you can add, well, first of all, you know, Paul Carty's Z-Ban is in here.
Nice bit of placing, I must say.
Great to see, brilliant bit of placing. And I don't know whether Paul's over or if he's listening, I hope he is, and wish you all the best. And
yeah, ballsy move, but at the right move. It's a brilliant bit of play. Like, you're gonna like, worst case scenario, pick up 550 quid. He's rated 96. Like, he will beat Courageous Strike, and he's gonna stay all day. So, you know, like, it's a good venture.
Look, if he's quick enough to go with him, you know, if he's quick enough to go with them, he will stay. So, good luck, Paul. We'll all be rooting for you. You've Grosvenor Square in here, who I was mad about last year. He's just very one-paced, very slow. He just, like, even the last day when he went out in front, I thought he was going to sneak it, and he was caught by Tower of London. Look,
no shame in that, though.
No, there's probably no shame in that. But the one I like is Kinesiology. 3-year-old colt has shown some nice form. I actually fancied him last day. He was a non-runner. It was in that race, I think, that Tower of London won the Group 2 here. But what's your thoughts on this one, Andy?
Yeah, he was second to the Euphrates, is it, at Gowran?
Yeah,
I think that was a new listed race. I don't remember Gowran having a 1.5 mile listed race for 3-year-olds.
Is it the Gowran Classic or something? Was it, or?
No, that was a sales race, I think, for fillies. Yeah, that was for colts. Or first, it was for fillies. A filly won it, but I think colts could run it too. I'm not sure the Euphrates is a you know, where he would be on Aidan O'Brien's pecking order. I'd say not very high. And look, I think it was a weak race at Gowran. The Euphrates was absolutely mullered by Crystal Black then in his next start at Leopardstown. I think he's quite a bit to find with Grosvenor Square. As we said, Courageous Strike 78. He's no chance. Absurd. He's definitely the form to get involved. Obviously, Ebor winner last year, County Hurdle winner over Styx. Just hasn't been seen in 5 months, is it? I think was it Punchestown? I think. Or he ran a Punchestown, didn't he? Or no, or maybe he didn't. Maybe it was the County Hurdle actually. And 155 days. Yeah, it'll be County Hurdle. Sorry. So it hasn't been since he won the County Hurdle. He has the ability to go well fresh, but you know, I wouldn't be fancying him to beat Grosvenor Square first time up. And a piece of heaven for Joseph O'Brien, bought out of the Barry Fitzgerald's yard for Royal Ascot, went off favourite in the Copper Horse handicap that was won by Bellocchio. You'd probably want to see him winning that race or possibly being placed in that to give him a chance here, especially against Absurd and Grosvenor Square. Hasn't been seen since, so it would make you wonder if he's had a little in-season break. But Grosvenor Square, he's rated 112. You know, he's the race fit horse. Him and Z-Band, obviously Kinesiology and Courageous Strike are all the fit horses. But I would say, you know, given on ratings, Grosvenor Square is probably going to be the one to be with here. My only little query is he more at home with a bit of dig in the ground? That would stop me backing him at he's likely to be odds on. That would stop me backing him at such a short price, but I think he's definitely the most likely winner.
Yeah, look, that's fair. I was keen on Kinesiology the last day, so
6 year runs.
I'll have to stick with him. Yeah, so but it's Grosvenor Square for you, Wendy. You'd be strong on that as well.
Strong enough. If it rained a bit more, like, you know, you can.
You don't want that, Andy. Not come to the picnic. You don't want that.
It can rain at the Courage, it's not at the picnic. I get it.
Yeah, it's not a million miles off now. It's on the road. So the Grosvenor Square for Andy, very strong. He's looking for a little bit of rain. We will move on. Tommy Viola's element here. The 510 Toto.EA handicap for 3-year-old and up. It's 47 to 65, and it's over 7 furlongs. Andy, I'm going to finish this card strong. I think, I know you were laughing at me before we came on air, but many runners did you say we have here?
Just a 30 here with your 3 reserves, and it's 47 to 60. Yeah, bigger the certainty. Yeah,
bigger the field, the bigger the cert. Look, there's 2 I like here, and they're both fillies. In a blink, she's rated 57. This is her second run for our trainer. She was beaten 2 lengths in her second handicap the last day. She's down 3 pounds. You know, she's still going to be fairly unexposed. I think she'd give it a good go. But the one I'd be keen on now, and I know you like her as well, Andy. It's another filly. what are we calling
Thrifty of Digby.
Thrifty of Digby. Is our third handicap run and our first in open company. She's only a 3-year-old. She looks to have plenty of ability to my eye, and I think she's going to go very, very close here.
Yeah.
Look, are you following me in now? Are you?
I will follow you in. I don't have a strong opinion on this race. But look, she ran fine at Bellewstown. Just seemed to get tired. Get tired in the last furlong. And Shane Foley kind of looked after her. It's been dropped 4 pounds as a result of that. Yeah. And again, this is the handicapper just being nice, I suppose. At that kind of summer, a lot of these horses getting dropped. But she has the ability to win off 60, and a strong run 7 furlongs up the Curragh is going to suit her. Scott McCullough just need to keep her, covered up for as long as he can, and she should travel nicely into the race and come home really well. It should be ideal for her, and I'd expect her to run well.
Okay, yeah, I'd be keen enough on her now. I don't care about the size of the field. Just means you get better odds. That's it.
I've one I do like in the last race though, and it's this will be one of my bets of the day.
Comes in the lucky last. I'm keen, So
you didn't tell me which one it was.
No, we haven't spoken about this, but we will move on to the last. And Tommy, this one was made for Tommy.
Tommy's gonna be like, "Who's Tommy?"
Every time I go racing, Tommy gets annoyed about this and discusses it. The same thing every time. It's the toe. Never been beaten by the SP handicap.
Yeah.
3-year-old and up, 47 to 75 over 6 furlongs. The tote's never been beaten by the SP. Well, they pay the SP now, don't they? But they just
that's deadly. That's what they want. You can get paid the SP. Like if it's a 10 to 1 winner, there's your 11 quid or whatever. But if it's a 20 to 1 winner, there's your 21 quid. It was used to be there's a 20 to 1 winner. Oh look, it pays like 70 quid on the toe. Deadly.
Yeah,
just doesn't happen anymore.
Funnily enough, every time we're racing and Tommy's there, somebody, whether it's somebody's missus or it's someone who's come racing with us that doesn't know anything about racing,
someone that's never seen a horse in their life,
gets a winner. And they're like, Jesus, a 50 to 1 winner. And then they go, look, 80s on the toe. Every time Tommy's there, that happens. So I don't know. I think just Tommy might just have it in for
bad luck.
Okay. The one I like, Andy, is Magic Force.
Magic Force, yeah, that's my one as well. Yeah, it is.
It is
the fifth last time out, stepping up to 6 furlongs, and he's dropped 4 pounds. It looks absolute model.
It was one of those nearest finish the last day, wasn't it?
Nearest finish.
Right. But this is more nap at the top material.
Yeah, this is it. This is what we want. Go on, take it away. I'll let you. It's been my flat podcast. But.
No, I'm the host this week. I let you. I let you tell us all about Magic Force.
Son of Soldier's Call. Look, beaten at 2-1 on his final start for Andrew Balding, which was a little bit disappointing. Took 1 run for Michael Brown, ran no sort of race at the Curragh, at Cork, beaten a long way over 6 furlongs, but left that form well behind when beaten 4 lengths by Novel Aspire at Tipperary over 5. Kind of getting there all the way, and just the line just didn't come in time. My only hunch is that he might actually want 7 furlongs in time, but the 6 furlongs up the Curragh, strong 6. Only 8 days ago.
Okay.
Yeah, it won't matter. Yeah, he'll be doing his best work late. I think this horse is going to be, he's going to be bang there again. It's a 24 runner race, but as what you said, that bigger the field, etc. Yeah, so I think this horse has a phenomenal chance, and Michael Brown. Be nice to see him have a nice horse again. I was used to love Logo Hunter in these colours as well. Phenomenal old sprinter, Logo Hunter, a few seasons ago. Him.
It was not who trained Logo Hunter. You thought he was the best sprinter.
Michael Brown. This lad here, same colours as well. He was a fantastic sprinter. He just didn't quite get the breaks. And he
wasn't as good as Jack Davison's filly. What was her name?
They were actually, that was a nice
went head to head,
yeah, and then there was also Ado McGuinness had that sprinter as well. My God, I'm going blank here now.
Jack Davison's was in the green, wasn't she?
She was. Moonista is Jack Davison's,
yeah.
and then oh God, I cannot remember for the life of me Aido McGuinness's horse, which annoys me.
Is Aido the one that went to the States?
Yeah, he won in Maidan, and he won the. I think he won the Abbey as well.
Did he win in France on that weekend?
Yeah, he won the Abbey, and he won in Maidan.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll get it in a minute. Actually, it's going to annoy me as I go time. There's people probably screaming now at their thing. It's at the name of the horse, but it's just not coming to me. Let me see. Moonista. There's good old Moonista. Oh yeah, you're gonna have to come back to me, Deck. I'm gonna need filler here.
Look, I'm not filling in for you. I have to pack a load of bags. You can put it up on Twitter. But anyway, continue telling us about Magic Force and why.
No, I'm pretty much there. Like, it was just it's the step up and trip, second run, the handicap, and it was only 8 days ago, so the horse should be in fine nick for a sprinter. So yeah, I'm very happy with that, and I think he's going to be very, very hard to beat.
Cool. Okay, that wraps up the Curragh. Andy, have you anything else over? We obviously we've a lot of racing. We have Tramore and Cork tomorrow, and we've Tramore and we have a flat card at Tramore on Saturday, I think, and we have Curragh. Is there anything else?
A case of you, Deck. A case of you was the McGuinness horse. No, I don't actually. I don't have anything else. I had a good look at the Curragh. The Tramore stuff, the flat card at Tramore. Yeah, I was telling you this. I think they've only 3 or 4 distances. I'm just checking.
Yeah, 9 and
it's 9, 12, and 2 miles. I'm pretty sure. I don't think they've anything else at Tramore over on the flat.
Well, it was
mile and a half, 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 2 miles, 2 miles. They've only 2 distances.
It was technically a mixed card today because it was the last race wasn't a bumper. It was a 2 mile maiden.
All right, okay.
After all the hurdle races.
Yeah, send the patrons home happy.
So you've nothing else for the weekend?
Nothing, Deck. At the minute, I'm having a quick look through Tramore. I do know in the 5 o'clock Riviera Queen was in my tracker, but I would expect her to be a shade of odds on, so I'm not going to be putting her up. Another maiden, a lot of maidens. Rated races now, like Tramore, it's probably a no-go for me. What about you? Do you went over the sticks or fences while you're hunting away at the picnic?
I've been absolutely flat to the boards, but you know, when I get into my deck chair in the morning down there, I'll have a little look and I'll pop up anything. I'll pop up anything when I get a chance after the 10th, and I'll set up. If I see it tomorrow at Tramore, and then if I'm still in the deck chair as the sun comes up Saturday morning, I'll have another look if the phone's still charged.
You'll probably need to buy a few more fish for the office, will you?
Yeah, I just in case anyone's wondering about the title of this tap. How do you look after fish? A mate of mine has gone to Brazil for 2 weeks, and he's from England, so he doesn't know anyone here. There's no family. He asked me to look after his fish. He had a puffer fish. And the funny thing is, he brought the day before he went, he brought the puffer fish to the dentist.
This doesn't sound real.
He brought the puffer fish to the dentist because he had buck teeth. And it cost him 80 quid. The dentist shipped the teeth, and 2 days later, the fucker was on his back in the tank when I went over the thing. So he did have buck teeth because in the wild they eat krill and stuff. You know, they eat hard.
They don't in the office though. They eat the other fish.
He down to his living room. He was eating the other fish, and wherever I was feeding him, no, I don't know what I was feeding him. A bit of batter off my batter sausage must have dropped in, or some wine, I don't know. But they're dropping like flies.
Yeah, so Deck's been committing fish genocide this week, and they the aim of this podcast was to raise enough money through our
and to raise awareness.
Yeah, to replace the puffer fish. or getting an exotic fish. So
don't bring puffer fish to the dentist. I went over again yesterday, and there's another little thing dead. Oh, yes. And I flushed the puffer fish down the jacks, and that was the end of him.
The poor puffer fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, hopefully we won't be flushing our betting slips down the
Can
jacks.
Can you see me at about 5 o'clock Sunday morning? Loads of people around the tent and deck chairs. And I'm telling the puffer fish story for the 27th time of the weekend. No, come on around. Come on around and sit down.
You'll never guess what happens next. Did he blow up like the one out of Finding Nemo?
No, I was very disappointed.
No, he didn't get that. He didn't turn into like a football.
Very disappointed. And apparently, like when they blow up, that's it. They die then after that. But maybe he blew up and came back down, but he was floating on top upside down. Look, what can you do? What can you do? If you had died a few days earlier, it would have saved him 80 quid. But look, I'm not taking on the chin.
He didn't die on the operating table either, so yeah, it's a pity. Anyway, God, stop.
He's nobody with him. It was sad, like,
Be very interesting to see now if people listen all the way to the end to hear the pufferfish story. But
yeah, well,
hopefully we'll know now. We'll get asked for some comments on Twitter or on the back of YouTube on how to not kill pufferfish. And
we wouldn't have even had to ask. The comments would have come. So if there's no comments, we'll know nobody's listening at the end.
That was well worth it. We got it in.
And that was a pleasure once again. Just to run through. I'm actually quite keen on a few of mine.
Go on.
Eric Luck, Thrifty of Digby, and Magic Force. So I'm going to do that in probably a Trixie.
Yeah, I'll definitely be on Magic Force myself. I will
back the tap. That's snapping the tap.
Yeah, and I'll be backing Apache Outlaw as well in the sprint. I know I said I liked Meman, but I think Apache Outlaw definitely has a serious chance. If that debutant in the third race, I know we have going against a racing club member, Merchant's Arch, but if Annie Lavinia was a big price, I would definitely have a little speculative each way bet on her. But definitely Apache Outlaw, and our Michael Brown horse in the last 100% be the main ones for me. I'm quite looking forward to that.
Cool. Okay. Happy days. Mm-hmm. With Magic Force definitely napping the tap material. They'll get everyone out of the hole at the end, and we'll just add to my winnings, I suppose.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, we leave it there. That was an absolute pleasure, and I'm looking forward to the next one already if I survive the weekend. So we'll probably if we've enough racing next week, I think we might stick up another poll just while we've so much racing.
Why not? Let's keep doing it.
Flat, and nobody likes the flat, so I've enjoyed them. But Andy, thanks very much, and
pleasure as always.
Guys, thanks very much for tuning in and making it through to hear the pufferfish story, and keep liking, subscribing, keep sharing, and keep telling people about it. And actually, I met a couple of years out the weekend. Met Connor, and it's always great to meet you if they're out having a few drinks at all hours. I do really enjoy that. And if anyone's at the picnic and they see me, come say hello, because that would be great crack as well. I'll sit you down around the tent and I'll tell that pufferfish story again. It'll be funnier down there. But thank you, Andy. If you want to add,
not at all, but all good.
Right, we leave it there. Cheers.
Okay. Bye.